Greetings and welcome to my channel. This is Sorcerer Tal. You can also find me on Facebook in the Sorcerers Guild. Today we are going to be talking about one of the local urban legends or ghost stories down here in Salt Lake City. We are talking today about the Peery Hotel. The Peery Hotel is very famous for ghost tours, and is very famous for spirit tourism. So much so that I've actually had two different people on my ghost tours who have stayed here at the Peery Hotel with the intention of having a ghost experience. The first one, well, she stayed in the first building here, and she didn't report much. Simply some hackles on the back of the neck, a bit of sound, that sort of thing. But the second, well, she stayed in the middle building, and she had a much different experience. She claims that right about midnight, just as she was laying down, the bathroom faucet turned on, and she went in to turn it off. When she did, the faucet to the bathtub turned on, and then she walked over and turned that off, and when she did, the sink turned on again, and apparently this went back and forth for a while until it eventually stopped. And this is actually very appropriate for what supposedly started the hauntings here at the Peery Hotel. It all began with a woman in the early 1900s. Her name is sadly lost to history, at least within the urban legend, but supposedly this woman had suffered a divorce. And well, in the 1900s, this was quite the thing. Nowadays, if you suffer a divorce, it's not that big of a deal. I have friends or family that have suffered 4 or 5. But back in the day, well, it was a very big deal, especially in somewhere like Salt Lake City. And so this poor woman, she had just enough money left of her own to come and rent a room here at the Peery Hotel. And she stayed here in the middle building, all the way up at the top. She had just enough money for one night. And so she goes into the room, and she opened up the drain and stuffed a bunch of rags down in the drain. And then she went over to the bathroom sink and she stuffed it full of rags. And then she went over to the bathtub, stuffed the bathtub full of rags as well, and then laid down in the bathtub and opened up her wrists. And then she turned on the bathtub faucet as well. By the time the water came up out of the tub, they say it had already taken on a pinkish hue. And because of the late hour and the woman's status, no one really paid attention to her. So they say by the time that the water from the tub had come up over the floorboards, and it actually soaked the entire top floor of the Peery Hotel. And according to urban legend, that is where the hauntings here began, because the entire subfloor of the top story of the middle building is still to this day dyed in a light pink color from the blood of that water. And that is what caused the sink here, which draws more negative energy into this place and has created all the other different ghost stories that are drawn into here and all the negative and tragic events that haunt the Peery Hotel to this very day.